next, the Broncos and Jaguars face off for the 14th time. Denver can even up the series at 7 apiece. Or Jacksonville will win their 5th and the last 7 in the series. It's week 2, and it's next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State at TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Denver Broncos. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense getting ready to begin this first drive, and at the helm, the #1 overall pick back in April, Trevor Lawrence, the rookie out of Clemson.
And he comes off an incredible performance in the opener, 5 touchdown passes. Now look, you always want to start strong, but I think that's more than anyone, including himself, could have expected.
Now Lawrence on first down. And his first pass is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. And that is incomplete here. And he was looking for James Robinson out of the backfield. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A nice punt, but a good run back as well at 13 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
And the Broncos expected big things out of Jerry Jeudy, their #1 pick in 2020. But he really had to make a jump with the injury to Courtland Sutton. Almost 900 yards last year. A nice grab there.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Beck. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, this defense for the Jags, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
To throw, Bridgewater. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And unfortunately, in 2020, in the season opener, Courtland Sutton tore his ACL. But remember, over 1,100 yards in 2019, his future is still awfully bright.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon. 17 carries, up over 130 yards, and a touchdown.
Leading the league in rushing after week 1. You know he'd love to double down and continue that type of play here in week 2.
One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, 2nd and goal. To throw is Bridgewater. And he's got it. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Throwing, Bridgewater. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Courtland Sutton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Mike, 45. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. 45's the mic. 45's the mic.
Lawrence going to throw again. And that's incomplete. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Go. Go. Both 7's the mic. Both 7's the mic. Hey, come on out here. Come get it.
Now Lawrence. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Again, it's Lawrence. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
There's another example that playing football isn't strictly being physical. You've got to think as well. Nice job reading his keys by the linebacker and going out in the open space. When they dumped it to the back, he was able to make the play and stop him short of the goal line.
So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They were winners last week, defeating the New York Giants. They lead this one as well right now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. On 4th down, Sam Martin is on to punt for the Broncos. That's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And that one almost intercepted. But it's incomplete. He had space in front of him if he had held on. But instead, it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Oh, what a move. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And coming out now, the Broncos. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Bridgewater now for Gordon on the draw. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos would extend their lead here just before halftime. So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Clay Brooks to return it. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in week 2. We begin with a game that Coach Madden should probably shield his eyes from. A rematch of the Immaculate Reception. The Silver and Black taking on Pittsburgh. And they're at halftime with the Steelers out in front. The Steelers losers last week. They need to pull one back at home to avoid falling to 0-2. From there, we'll stay in the AFC North and head over to Cleveland to check on the Browns. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Phillip Lindsay with 2 touchdown runs. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. The Jets trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Broncos in that first half. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. These two coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score, garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays. And I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to him. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down, Gordon once more. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete. That's Beck. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense, drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On second down, it's Gordon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Uses the stiff arm. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. On the slant, completes to Sutton. Touchdown! Cortland Sutton, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, is one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action from Jacksonville.
47 is the mic. 47.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Play action now. Bridgewater finds a seam inside the 40. And bulldozing his way through. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run on first down. Gordon. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater. He finds his man, complete. That's Beck. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On first down, it's Gordon. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's got his tight end, Fant. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Lawrence. To the left side here for Eifert. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now it's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. This complete to Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Lawrence to Jones, first down, Jacksonville.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Lawrence going to throw again. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Lawrence. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And the gadget play here on 4th down winds up backfiring. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
47 is the mic. 47.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
47 Mike. 47 Mike. Mike 47. Bandit. Bandit.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Bridgewater. He's got his tight end Fant. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Bridgewater to Fant, first down Broncos.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Watch the twist. 47 is the mic. 47 is the mic.
They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a heck of an effort from Josh Allen getting in there defensively.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll keep it on the ground. Gordon. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Both sevens and Mike. Both sevens and Mike. We own them. We own them.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Denver, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head home next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home next week.